Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Rothy's Revolution. It's your girl, Rothy. Please excuse the technical difficulties right now. Hopefully, you can hear me and see me well. I am trying this new Rumble live thing. I don't know why I can't see myself. Let me try something here. Now I can see myself. Hopefully you can see me too. Okay, Travis, you're fired. If anybody, if you can see this right now, Travis, you're fired. Travis was going to join us this evening, and
Why?
he's in Chicago.
Why isn't he?
He just texted me that he's at a lovely dinner, so he's decided
With who?
choose a wonderful dinner over me and Jewel this evening, and I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest with
That
you.
is
But
rude.
okay, it's absolutely okay. We are doing a completely new setup today. We're going directly through Rumble, and I am connected via Bluetooth to audio. So I'm hoping everything is going well. Forgive me if this is not. I will edit it later if need be. But with that said, just waiting for Jody to get on so she can tell me if
Can you hear me?
if she can see me. So
Can you
stand
hear me?
by.
I'm here. Can you hear me? I'm here. Can you hear me?
Also, I need a producer. I need a producer. Okay, it's showing that we're streaming. I'm getting the notifications. So with that being said, let's go ahead and turn this. Um, Go ahead and does not look like you can see me. So figure out what's going on. Stand by.
Come here. Come on.
Jody says she's in there, but I can't to it. But this see. Okay, there. Now I can see myself. There we go. There she is. Hi.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear
I
me?
can't hear you. So it's okay. I took a couple minutes to adjust my settings. So you do the same. Go to the little three dots at the bottom, if you can see those, and then pull that up, click that, and that's going to give you your camera settings and your audio controls. And if you go to audio controls, it should direct you either that, or you may need to go to your settings on your phone and click allow settings. You know what I mean? Yeah, go to your microphone. If that's in Rumble, I'm going to rename the live troubleshooting technical setting on Rothy's Revolution. I'm sure some people would enjoy that. Learning how to do it too. Let's see. I'm just going to try to.
You hear me? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. I can see you.
I don't know what the problem is.
So we'll figure it
Let
out.
me log in. Let me log in.
Okay, now look at the bottom. When I first signed on, there was a go to the little microphone icon. It may have you muted. At the bottom, don't stop believing. I'm going to sing for y'all.
Hear me?
Uh-huh.
You can hear me?
I can't hear you. But let me try this. Let me just try to figure out why I can't. My audio settings are jacked-o. Keep talking because I'm going to see if I can hear you from.
Hey, 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 hey.
Can you hear me?
Hey.
I can't hear you. Now I can hear you. It's my settings, so stand by.
Let me
Try this. Stand by. My settings.
Can you hear me now?
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn this off.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Now I can't hear a damn thing. What is happening? Is that better? Now I can't hear you. Let me try and get on the phone and see if that'll work. I'm going to leave here. Can you hear me now? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I figured out what happened. So,
Okay.
what happened was, for those who care, um, I have this iPad, and this iPad, I think it's 11 or 12, something like that. It has the weirdest audio settings, and I totally forgot about that. That you cannot, let me turn this off.
Come on. Come on, girl.
You
Come
can't
on.
you can't get these settings. You can't access it from the audio. Let me leave here. Hold on. Leave. There we go. You can't access the audio in any other way but through the microphone, through my Roadcaster. The microphone, the built-in
Oh.
microphone to my iPad sucks bananas. Okay. So that's where we're at with everything. That's why we just had this issue. So for those that are looking to get an iPad, make sure that it doesn't have this stupid issue because it's so annoying. Okay.
That's one thing about, like, iPads and Macs and stuff like that, I have found. Like, if you have your phone connected to the computer,
Yeah.
it will automatically do things if you don't turn that
Yeah.
off, which
Yeah. It's the craziest setting ever, and I'm disgusted with it.
yeah.
So
How dare they?
welcome. Welcome 17 minutes in, everyone, to Rothy's Revolution. I'm your girl, Rothy, and this is your other girl, Jewell. Hi, darling.
Hello, love.
So we are troubleshooting and we're trying to find the best methods and platforms in which to bring you our wonderful content each and every week. So bear with us with this retardation of technical difficulties that we're having to deal with.
We'll get
Granted,
it figured out.
here's what's crazy. I can legit show you. I'm going to. Ready?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you because this is how ridiculous it is. Okay, we're going to show you. That's my high school diploma, blah, blah, blah. Let's not do the birth certificate, but I will. I will. Okay, so here, right here, it's my degree. This is my associate's degree. Can we read it? It's recording arts.
You should know this.
I can work $1 million consoles, studio consoles, SSL 9000Js, Amex. I can do ADR for movies, but I can't figure out the audio to my Rumble.
It's crazy. Like, there's there's different settings in each one. It's crazy.
$100,000 education, by the way. By the way, stellar resume. I've worked with
Come on.
legends in music. But yeah, had some issues with the Rumble today. Anyways, welcome. Thank you so much once again for joining me, Miss Jewell. We have a lot to talk about. I'm glad to see that you're doing fine. I'm glad to see that you're breathing. That's a good thing. We walked away, so
Yes.
maybe okay, we're still there. So yeah, I heard you got into some shit last night.
It was crazy down there. Sorry, I had to grab my robe. I'm a little chilly. I have my windows open trying to get some fresh air.
Okay.
Some fresh
Yeah, you need some fresh air after last night, huh?
girl. Girl. It was crazy down there. Like, it's so wild to me to watch these people act the way that they do. It's wild.
Yeah.
They are literally, some of them, most of them are drunk.
Mhm.
Um and some of them I'm pretty sure are possessed.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure. It's
Yeah.
And then they put that tear gas out, and I was downwind from it, and I
Mhm.
couldn't even drive. It was so bad, I had to pull my car over. My eyes were holding shut. I couldn't open my eyes, and there was just tears just pouring out of my face. It was the craziest experience of my life.
So basically, everybody, what Joel is talking about is last night she went to dinner in downtown Portland with her friend, and afterwards was trying to leave, and she got caught up in the No Kings Day protest slash riots where. Antifa and all of them, one of the ground zero places in the country, which is Portland, Oregon, and she got tear gassed on accident. And she was downwind, like she said. So basically, I saw the video on Instagram where she's just showing the absolute anarchy commencing. And yeah, I was a little bit worried about her. I'm glad to see that you are doing okay today. But yeah, how scary.
I keep telling people the same thing. Like, I was raised in the hood. This is child's play. Like, they have no idea what real, like,
Yeah, yeah,
what type of realness will come out. It's
yeah, yeah. They're paid. They're paid and they're pampered. Yeah, go down. Same. Like I was born and raised on the border, El Paso,
oh
Texas.
yeah.
I've been to Juarez. I've seen people
Yeah.
meet Jesus.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's
Live in person.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 So yeah, it's a whole different story when you don't have, I don't know if it's the federal government or the Soroses of the world who are paying you to do this. So, and pampering. So,
It's crazy because Tommy Boy, he's one of the guys that's down there all the time. He's down there a lot. I have a job. I That's his job. His people pay him to do all that. But he caught them going into a storage unit right there. It's a heated storage unit
wow, to like get dressed and change and stuff.
to store everything.
I wonder if you got any footage of that.
Yes, he did.
That is interesting. We should be sharing that for
Yeah,
sure,
he
for
got
sure.
footage. I'll send it to you.
Awesome.
I might be able to pull. I don't. Can I put? Is it on his TikTok? Uh, Tommy Boy. Let's see.
The whole thing. They showed me nothing.
Yep, it is right. Let's see. Is it this one? I'll have to find it and send it to you.
Okay.
You putting it out.
I want to. Maybe it's on his Instagram.
God, stop. The whole thing.
Because it's not on his TikTok, so it might be on his Instagram.
Yeah.
Because TikTok doesn't allow certain things.
Right. Right. I'm gonna send this to a couple of people really quickly. Let me get Keeks on here if she wants to
Yeah.
come in. Um, there we go. Send one to Sal. Okay, cool. All right, all right. So, so yeah, that's crazy. And then what's really funny is my 70-year-old roommate yesterday. She's a older lady that I help take care of in house. I rent the top of her house and I help take care of her. And
Okay.
so she asked me yesterday, what's going on? What's with all the protests and stuff? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like I didn't even know that it was a No King's Day again.
Oh,
So
okay.
and so I looked it up and I sent her a meme video from it, which was super funny because it had to do with the No King's Day protesters. I guess it was on American, or not American Dad, but the one with Stewie.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh,
That one,
not American Dad.
Family Guy.
Family Guy. It has the
So
dog. Yeah.
yes, so it was Family Guy, and they were going down to the No King's Day thing, and it said, what are we here for? We don't know. Why are we here? Again, we don't know. It was hysterical, and so I sent her that clip, and I said, basically, this is what it is, because I don't even still know. I guess they're protesting Trump,
They
which
don't like him.
Which here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm still trying to figure out. I posted myself today. I'm doing my best to not like him. I really am. I'm doing my best to not like Trump. There's some things that have happened recently that I'm just like, do I like you anymore or not? Right?
I've been
And
there.
and then he posts that AI video of him shitting on everybody with the fighter jet, and then I was like, yeah, okay. So he's petty again. I like him again. I can't help it. But
I like
so
petty activity.
yeah, I was just like, I don't understand why they are. I guess that's what it's about, right? It's protesting him and the supposed administration regime, what have you, which cracks me up. There's so much irony and there's so much counter. Uh, it's just a complete. It's a complete contrast. Like
I
you're
did a video today, and it was a bunch of like chopped up of the actual like footage of different ones. None of them know why they're there. None of them can say what rights they have lost. None of them can say what policies that they do not like. All they know is Orange Man bad.
right, which is what they're paid to know and to say and to parrot, right?
Yep.
In these riots. And it's so funny because to me, I'm like, do you understand? Y'all understand that nobody, not even us, not even MAGA people, not even Trump, calls him a king. Nobody but you guys call him a king.
Well, it's funny because if you look at the history, and I was going to do a video about this, but I'm not sure how to say it all and how to package it yet. But if you look at what has happened with the falling dynasty and all that and him going into that place, he actually is.
Interesting.
And they know that and they don't like that.
Interesting.
And
Interesting.
it's an interesting view that I've been
Right, right, right. Working out.
yeah.
Yeah, but as far as common knowledge, like we don't call him a king. Nobody calls him a king. He doesn't even call himself a king, except for when it's no King's Day. It's like,
Well, when he you say you don't want a dictator, but during Biden, what happened? Forced vaccines,
right,
forcing your home, forcing masks, forcing you not to see your grandparents and your aunts and uncles in homes and or at the hospital dying. Like that was forced. That was a dictator.
oh,
Kamala.
right,
Kamala isn't even elected and she was
right,
on the like what?
exactly. They don't understand at all what they're talking about. They don't
Because they're
understand.
told. They're
Yeah,
told and they don't think.
yeah. So that's just the irony and the ridiculousness that is no King's Day. It makes absolutely no sense. And they don't realize just how big of fools that they are for trying to participate in it. I understand going down there to maybe get footage or ask people questions or
Absolutely.
like I get it, and I am all for standing up for what you believe in. If you're against something and you
Yep.
want to protest it, that's our right to do that as an American citizen. I implore you and I encourage you and support you in that endeavor. However, if you're getting paid to do it, that's not from your heart. Secondly, know what you're talking about and what you're protesting, and don't be violent with it. And they are
I was
definitely
just
violent with it.
I was just gonna say that. Like a lot of the people, they will sit there and like for let's say instance Boeing, they stand there and they hold signs.
Right,
They're not rude to people, they're not disrespectful. Kaiser nurses, they stand there and they hold signs.
right,
Like they're not holding a sign for anybody but somebody that's paying them.
right.
And when this job is over, where are these people gonna get jobs at?
It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. It cracks me up because they just have no clue what they're doing. But my thing is, one of the big things that I've seen out of this is people coming against, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight was the government shutdown, right? So people coming against ICE and
Mm.
what they're doing. I guess that's one of the big reasons for the No Kings protest right now is the immigration issues.
Yes.
So, with that being said,
Where
a
were they
lot,
when Obama was doing this again?
right, right, because he deported far. It was like 800,000, something like that, far more
Way a lot.
than what Trump's done. But a lot of people are trying to dox ICE people. They're trying to dox ICE workers and DHS workers. And granted, I'm the first one that's like, when it comes to government agencies, even under the Trump administration, I'm questioning them. I'm always going to question authority. It doesn't matter what
Absolutely.
side, it doesn't matter what side, because every side can be, corrupt, right? Um,
Absolutely.
uh, but when it comes to ICE and DHS and what they're doing, I'm absolutely in agreement with the fact that we need to get a bunch of these illegal people out of our country. They're dangerous, right? Not all of them. I feel
Nope.
like a lot of the Hispanic people, I'm part Mexican. I'm from El Paso. I grew up with Mexican maids, from Juarez that were not legal. They didn't live here, and yet they raised me. I was raised by
Mhm.
Mexican maids, so like I know a big part of that culture. I know that especially the Mexican culture, Mexican work ethic is ridiculous. Nobody can
Oh,
outwork Mexican,
absolutely.
and they have. I feel like those who have been contributing members to our nation and are building families here, I feel absolutely there should be programs for them to work through while they stay here. Like we shouldn't deport them. Now, if you're a criminal, if you're a criminal and you have not been doing good and you've been, you came from Venezuela, or, you're a part of the, part of the cartels or working for something like that, then yeah, GTFO. But I think that there should be programs. I think that a lot of our country is built upon hard immigrant workers right now, and I think that that's okay. But it has to be you gotta be accounted for, just like the rest of us are. Got to pay taxes. Got to work hard. Do the rest of it. If we put you through a program or what have you, you got to take an allegiance to our flag. It is what it is. But with that being said, I'm not against ICE. And I think that a lot of these people have become extremely violent. And the mindset and the rhetoric has become extremely violent. I was watching on TikTok, there's this one lady, I forget her name. She's a makeup artist, super woke makeup artist. And she was talking about, ICE agents have kids too, just
Uh-huh.
trying to encourage
I
people
did
to,
a video with her, like a funny video.
I think JL or something like that. Yeah, that one.
Well, and I'm all for like I love your whole thing about that, but my thing is with these people, they did it illegally.
Yeah.
All of them need to go home. And for all of them that went home, the people that are on the list that are doing it legally
Mhm.
need to be brought in so that we have those workers. And
Yes.
those people that were here illegally need to go back home and do the paperwork. I don't believe that they should be here just because they are here and stand in front of line of everybody else. I
I
don't believe that.
I definitely can agree with you on that. And if that's the program that we have for it, that we can develop for it or coordinate for it, then let's make that
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
my point in saying that with a lot of America, being is operating off of, we have to really take a look at that. A lot of America is operating right now off of the work of immigrants, and I'm not talking about the violent
We're
ones.
all immigrants. We are all immigrants. That's the thing. All of us.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that if we are looking at this pragmatically, I think that there should be, whether it be go home and come back through an an advanced process and timeline where you don't have to wait nearly as long as you would have normally, and we expedite the other
But
ones
why are
that
you
are
allowing
waiting.
people to cut? Why are we allowing people to cut the line? They've already cut the line once. That's just like at Space Mountain.
Yeah.
If you cut the line and they find out, you're getting kicked out of Space Mountain. You're getting kicked out of the whole park.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know, there are rules to everything. And I get why these people want to be here. I'm grateful my family did it all those decades ago.
Same.
Very grateful. They came to New York, landed at Ellis Island, immigrated to Canada, and came from Canada to here. We've done paperwork throughout the family to be here. And the fact that they are trying to get in front of people because they want the American dream, that's not the American dream, is cutting in line and taking from others.
Yeah. No, I mean, I definitely agree. I absolutely agree with that. Um, do we think that there would be some sort of effect and some sort of impact on the U.S. trades, the U.S. industries, especially those maybe like the farming industry, the hospitality industry that are chock full of these immigrant workers?
But they
Um,
have programs for that. That's what those specific programs are. Those people come over, they get on these lists and they come over and they work and they go back home.
on visa,
There are programs for that's why when people talk about it, I'm like, there's a program already for it. Like what are you talking? Do you not know that there's a program for this already? And
right?
that's why I said that the people that go immediately, those other people that have been checked and processed need to come and be able to come work and do what they need to do. But unfortunately, that's not how it works, because once you get here, you then have to wait, don't
Right,
you?
right,
Once you have to wait and do that process and get your green card and work permit and all
right.
that.
Yeah, yeah. And every other country requires that as well. So for us to sit here and act as if it is racist or
Absolutely.
wrong for us to maintain the same requirements. Why do other countries do that? It's for their safety, it's for their economy, it's for their betterment, you know? And I absolutely agree. I think that we're in a very sticky, precarious situation now as a result of it. And that's where a lot of this is coming from. But going back to these super violent people like
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
this girl online, like what is going to happen to them?
I
Have you
really
noticed
hope
anything?
what I believe, and this could be wrong. I have no idea. This is just my belief. Um, the reason why we are getting censored and they are not is because they want their stuff at the top. They want to be able to see them and they want to be able to get them. And in order to do that, they're going to have to get on and they're going to have to see that. And I know that there's people, I know in my soul that there's people that are watching, and there has to be, because these people are getting turned in and being arrested.
Are they?
I've seen a couple of them. Yeah, I don't know all of them, but I've seen some that, yeah, they're getting fired from their employers. They're getting arrested. They're not going to be able to do very much after so long
Yeah,
because
yeah. I have, we were talking about in one of our lives a couple weeks ago, um, here in Allen, Texas, and the ties that they had with domestic terrorists and mass shooters, right?
oh,
And so
yes.
remember we had the one that actually went down to the Dallas ICE place, and he was from Fairview, right behind where I work, right?
Yes.
And that day I literally went out to lunch and saw the helicopters right above my job, and that's because that's where he lived. And right down the street from there was back in 2023, the Allen Outlets shopping mall. That's where they had that mass shooting there.
Oh,
Um,
that's right.
and then the El Paso Walmart shooter was from Allen, Texas as well. Now, the recent one for the ICE shooter from Fairview, which is right next to Allen, one of our clients had come in and said, "Yeah, my son went to school with him as well as his sister, and the mother is a super leftist, very crazy leftist teacher at a school in Allen." And so it just seems like Allen seems to be a hub of some sort of extremist
Just like
energy.
we're a hub for Antifa.
Right.
We
So Allen, Texas is, that's Collin County. Um, I think that's Collin County, or it's right next to Collin County. And Collin County has the number one sheriff's office in the nation. That's Sheriff Skinner. I literally have met him. I've spent holidays with the family. I'm close with the family because of a relative of mine who is close with them and works with them.
When you
So
say top, what does that mean?
the number one sheriff's department in the nation and the largest. And I think this is due
Okay.
to the amount. And Collin County is notoriously, if you get arrested in Collin County, they're not playing with you. Like it's one of
Oh,
those places that is notoriously difficult. It's very large, and it is notoriously strict, I guess, is the best way that I can put that.
okay.
The drugs that have been removed from, and the level of crime that has been removed from the county, and one of the reasons that places like what's it called,
Pritzker,
Princeton,
Princeton.
Princeton, I think. Texas is the largest growing city in the nation. And I think I may be brain farting that. I think it's Princeton, but it's the fastest growing city in the nation, and it's in Collin County. Yeah.
Really?
And Collin County is notoriously, that's where the Star is, Frisco, the Star for the Cowboys. That's where Prosper, Texas is. But it's also where Plano is. That's where the epicenter, the epicity center, where the Muslims want to have Sharia law city. That's
Oh,
where
yes,
that is.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so that's all in Collin County, which is confusing to me, knowing that this is one of the best sheriffs in the nation. He's always on Fox News and is a contributor, great guy, and he's done a lot of great work here in Texas. But it's also one of the areas of Texas that has a lot of blue, in fact, Richardson, which is actually Dallas County, but we're real close to Collin County. Richardson has a Muslim mayor. So there's a lot of Muslim, infiltration up here, and that's an issue.
Interesting. I thought it was just in Minnesota. We have a
No,
lot here too. We have a ton here.
no, no. Dallas is supposed to be, that's where they have the land already, hundreds and hundreds or thousands of acres that they want to make. It's called Epicenter. It's in Josephine, Texas. And the imam, or the head of it, his compound is located directly next door to the Plano Police Department and overlooks all of their entire department. And one of the Plano detectives, one of the police people there, or a city councilman or something like that, spoke about it in a city council meeting. And this was a viral clip that was online. I'll find that and I'll play that. But yeah, North Dallas is very Muslim up here. And I
Interesting.
think that's one of the reasons that Abbott made that anti-Sharia law.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He do that the last few weeks?
No, this was done, I think, last year, but
Oh,
it has to do with legalese and its operation within the courts, Sharia law within the courts. So I don't know if the actual legislation speaks to everyday life. I think it has to do within courts, like Sharia law
okay.
cannot be used within courts. It doesn't mean that they can't live by Sharia law within their epicenter. You know what I mean? Because how you get into this city, this epicenter city, is you have to pay, like, I think it's 75% of your income or something like that towards this Sharia
What?
compound. Yeah, and that's how but yeah, because you're supporting, but within there you've got all the stores you need, you've got all the schools you need, you've got
For
everything that you
free?
need.
For free?
All of it. Yes. Yes.
Even housing?
Yes. Well, housing is, I'm sure in order to buy a house there, you have to, but I'm sure it's made affordable for them because it's a community, It's a smart idea if you think
So it's
about
like
it.
an HOA. It's like an HOA.
Yeah. Yeah, but for Sharia law
Yeah.
and for Muslims. And so um that is what is up here in, North Dallas area. And uh which is, again, it's pretty confusing to me, being that I know a bit about our amazing sheriff up here. He's a great, like I said, he's the top sheriff in the nation. He's the best, and he's done a lot of good work out here. Um, Collin County is not to be played with as far as crimes go and violence and all of that. It's not, won't tolerate it out here. Um, and then you've got things that happen, such as um, what's his name, Anthony Carmelo Anthony stabbing Austin
Oh, that
Metcalf.
big old thing. Yeah.
That happened in Collin County. So that was a high school in Frisco. So you've got some really weird dynamics going on here, and yet you've got one of the top departments in the nation, if not the best one. So pretty interesting if you'll think about
Yeah.
that, and also keeping in mind that when it comes to looking at the powers that be, from a local level to a federal, etc., your sheriff always has the top say in your area, even over federal. So your sheriff is the most powerful person
Yep.
in your community,
Yep.
not the
A lot
president,
of people don't know
not the
that
governor, not the mayor. No, it's your sheriff.
because
You have
they're
to
a
know your sheriff.
sovereign being.
Yes. Yes. So you need to know your sheriffs, and you need to know how that works. And there is an organization, I forgot the name of it, but there's an organization that actually supports the involvement of the communities within their sheriff's departments, and getting to know your sheriffs and how you can support them and how they're involved. And there's a lot of, trust me, there's a lot of corrupt sheriffs as well. I
There are a lot
would,
of Masons that are sheriffs.
I mean, yes, yes, yeah. If not all of them, and I can neither confirm
A
nor
lot
deny
of
that. I don't
a
know.
lot of them are prior military, and
I
a
feel
lot of
like,
the military higher up are Masons.
yeah, and I mean, even all of our elected officials in every way, shape, or form. There's masonry and Freemasonry throughout the history of our country and every sect of authority. So I think that's most apropos, yes. And it's something to keep in mind as well, for sure. But with that being said, I think that, going back to the original point of this area being just very, the dynamics of this area are very, very strange, and we've had, out of the Allen area specifically, now 3 mass shooters, and one of them happened in Allen at the outlet malls. So, and this is within the past 5 years. This is just within the past 5 years. So we need to take a look at what are the factors and the variables in play that are contributing to the extremism, especially if that is within the educational community and the teachers. I happen to know a very leftist, liberal, hateful teacher that that's in Collin County as well, who has I Am Antifa as her Facebook profile picture, which that has been deemed officially a terrorist group. So for a middle school or elementary teacher to have that as her Facebook is just, to me, that renders me incredulous. Like, how are you allowed to have your job if this is who you are openly
The first time
identifying as?
the first time I was ever down at the ice building in Portland, I was talking to a gal and she was saying how she has to go to, come here, you crazy fucker. Be up here. She's acting crazy. Um, she was saying that she has to go into the schools and actually stop Antifa from getting these kids to be in Antifa. Like
I remember.
the youngest kid that I saw there was 16. My security guy told him, like, dude, you don't want to go down this route, man. You do not want to go down this route, bro. You don't. Say hi to the people.
Well,
she's
hello there.
she's mad at me.
Hello there. Who is that?
That's Penelope. Look
Penelope.
at her eyes. She's
Oh,
like, I
you
will
look like
fix
such a little
you.
bitch, and I love it.
She's an old feral. I love her so much.
I know. Kitties are the best. I have mine. Mine were losing their minds today too. I don't know why they're not running around and driving me crazy for once. It's worrisome in and of itself. But but yeah, I remember that was that live that we did when you first went downtown to Portland. I remember hearing that lady in the background talking about how they are recruiting.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, you were live with me.
yeah, I remember that. So I think that this is something that authorities should really start to take a look at. I think that people and teachers who are openly identifying as Antifa should be reported to their education districts and to the schools. I think that that should be something that is not tolerated and not allowed. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you lean on. This is a officially deemed terroristic group in the nation. It's like saying you're a part of Hamas. You know, it's like
There's a school at a high school here that just opened a conservative club.
mhm.
And they actually had a big old thing out front. I'm gonna put a video about it. They had a big old thing out front, and people were just so hateful and mean, and all these adults were acting wild, just wildly inappropriate. And I'm like, time out, wait a minute. Like, there's a Satanism club, there's a nerd club, there's a robot club, there's all these different clubs. And this one kid was like, well, when it becomes extreme, like, bro, what? Like anything can be deemed extreme. Let's say you have an extreme hoarding issue, an extreme, animal issue. Like it doesn't matter. Just because it's a key word doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Like, and to stop them from trying to do it, but you can recruit Antifa kids? Like,
Exactly.
what?
Yeah. Uh, the schools are something that, it's one of the things that Trump needs to tackle is education.
And that's why he took down the Department of Education.
Yeah, and it needs to be gutted, just like pretty much every other department. It needs to be gutted. It needs a rehaul. We need to absolutely put structure in there. We need to put rules in there. No political affiliations whatsoever. None whatsoever. If you and also no gender identity. Don't
Yeah.
if you identify yourself as a gender, as a teacher, you are to be fired. You
It
should
should be about school
it
and
should be
learning.
about
It doesn't
school.
matter. It
It
doesn't
does not
matter what
matter
you
which
do
way.
in your bedroom.
Exactly, exactly. So these are just some of the rules that need to be put into place, and this is common sense. This isn't conservatism. This isn't,
That part.
activism. This isn't anything like that. It isn't even like Christianity. It's common sense. This is
That part.
school. You need to be learning and the important things in life, and then also the topics that the subjects that are taught in school. I have never in my adult life have ever used algebra ever.
Never.
Never once. Like a lot of the subjects that they're teaching us, like why don't we talk about economics? Why don't we teach kids how to get good
Cook,
credit? Why don't
cook,
we cook?
clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that.
Build a
Take care of your
business.
mental health. Work on a car. Like
Right.
there's a guy on I think he's on my Instagram at least. I don't know if that's his only one, but he actually teaches young boys about how to work on cars and how to treat people and like because they don't have fathers in their lives. People don't realize how much. I just had this conversation with somebody else this week. How much a two-parent household affects a child.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. And the divorce rates in our nation are, just completely working themselves.
Skyrocketing.
And it's just, it is damaging
COVID.
the future of
COVID was the highest divorce rate ever in our country because
that
people were together
that is
24/7
such
and they realized that they did not like or didn't want to be around that type of person the rest of their life. And it's like, that's because everything is rushed nowadays.
right,
Oh my God, I love you. It's been a week. We're going to get married. Like, you don't even know this person, bro.
right, right. Right. Yeah, there's so much wrong with Western love,
Oh
Western
boy.
relationships, and all of that. That's another completely other show
Right?
in and of
All
itself.
right.
But yeah, with kids, when it comes to kids and the way that they're brought up, especially in public education, that needs to be rehauled. They are the future. They are, and that's why they are being targeted by the left. That's why they're being targeted by the extremists and people like the Antifa. They need to be. We need to do something about that.
It's why
And
they don't like
parents,
people to homeschool because they
exactly.
have homeschool values when you homeschool. You have a mother, a father, you get to learn about both what they do, how they do it, how intricate a woman's position is in this world.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And if people were really smart about it, especially good teachers out there, if you were really smart about it, you're not making a ton of money. So what you should do, get you 10 students, homeschool 10 students at, a certain amount of money, per month for this, which is going to be way cheaper than private school to those families anyway. Then you're gonna
Well,
be making far more money than you would have as a public school teacher. You have far less kids to teach, and you're teaching them quality education, quality, content and information that they need, and you're making a heck of a lot more money, and you're building a better community for yourself. So
there's my mom's best friend's daughter. During COVID, she had to work, and she was like, "I can't do this whole thing with my daughter here." And they have like this little co-op of family and friends and neighbors where each day somebody takes the kids and does something with them, and it's turned out phenomenal for these kids. Like it's amazing how much not sitting children down in a school, teaching them to sit down and shut up and listen to fake
yeah,
history
yeah.
does for them.
Yeah, fake history for sure. I actually posted something today on Instagram,
Yeah.
that it was the meaning of school, basically the meaning of school,
Yeah.
and it had to do with. Let me go here. The meaning of school, which is LOOHCS, school backwards. And it's what they don't teach you. It means abusing a child mentally. LOOHCS, the word school backwards, the definition is abusing a child mentally.
The things that they have done, like it's I when I'm to the point now where I'm getting so infuriated because it seems like, yeah, I mean, I know everything. No, you don't. Like, and the fact that they have done this and gotten away with it for so long
Yeah,
because they won the war, let's not get that. It's wild to me. I never I was just thinking this the other day. I was getting out the shower, getting ready for work, and I thought, if they had waited for my son's generation, the 20 and 30-year-olds, to get to the point where we were in homes and they did it to them, we would have been fucked. We would have never had a country again.
yeah, It's scary. It's scary to think
Yes.
about, to see the viral videos and stuff online, all the fighting in school and in the schools and the violence that's promoted.
I couldn't be a teacher. Those they have no rights to stop a fight. They have no rights to tell children, "Get off your phones." Like, they have no rights at all, and it boggles my mind. Like, what do you mean they can't tell them, "Sit down and listen and learn"? Like,
Yeah, it's education needs to be rehauled completely. It needs to be rehauled
100%.
1000%.
100%.
And yeah, that's something that Trump needs to get on before the end of this term. Education needs to be rehauled completely. But
Yes.
with the government shutdown, I wonder how that affects the Department of Education right now.
Well, they were defunded, weren't they?
Completely. So
Yeah, so
how
it's
is
not the
how is
states
public
are doing it, right?
okay? I don't know.
Is that my car?
Hopefully not, but we will see.
No, it's
Maybe
my neighbor's car.
okay. Well,
Sorry, y'all gotta hear that for a while. Oh, there it goes. It's turned off.
okay. The joys of living in Portland.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
So
I'm trying to move.
yeah, yeah. But with the going back to the government shutdown, um,
What do you think it's for?
uh, I feel like there's far more to it than it just being a regular shutdown. I feel like they are doing some stuff behind the scenes with it. But one thing that Travis and I were noticing, I made a video about this. I was like, we were on FaceTime on my way to work one day, and I was looking at the sky. He lives in Atlanta, and it's just completely bright blue. There's no clouds in the sky whatsoever. I was like, wow, bro. I was like, you don't have any chemtrails whatsoever. And he's like, yeah, the government shut down. And I was like,
But they're back. They're back. They've only stopped for maybe 5 days.
really?
They only stopped here for 2 days and then they were right back at it.
I haven't seen any here in Dallas, but I've seen a lot of videos. I've seen a lot of people showing videos of
Yeah.
completely clear skies
Yeah.
ever since the government shut down. So I think there's something to be said for that.
Well, the
Um,
government doesn't fund it. See, the DOD and the special interest groups then get contractors to say, "Hey, this is what we're doing." And as long as you say what you're doing, you can do whatever up there in the stratosphere. It doesn't matter. As long as you give them a heads up. So it's not paid for by the government. That's what a lot of people don't understand.
hmm, who's paying for it?
I believe it's the DOD and the military industrial complex. That's who I believe it is.
And why?
Control. Control, manipulate. They ruined crops here last year. Last year there was a big, huge snow. And I've had my hummingbird feeders out for a long time, many, many years. I wash them every week. I put them back out. That year when the snow came, it literally ate the plastic from my hummingbird feeders.
Wow.
It destroyed things, the tops of plants and trees, and we have these really random funguses coming up nowadays again, like all this hair in the grass that people are finding this white hair stuff in the grass, like they're for sure doing something.
Interesting. Interesting. So the DoD is funding chemtrails for to kill crops. I'm sure that's one of them. Also to put nanotechnology in us in some way, shape, or
100%.
form, and possibly to influence the whole our endocrinology, our
Gotta keep them
hormones.
sick, gotta keep them sick. And as long as you put metals in, you're going to be heavy metal toxic.
Yeah,
Metals mess with the gut, the neuro, everything. It messes with that's why they put it in the food for the kids to eat.
So what is the resolution to that? And do we think that Trump is going to do anything?
I hope they do. When Maha talked about just taking, the shots out, like that's okay, that's something. But they're still
There's so
feeding
much
us
more.
trash. Who knows where our meat comes from anymore? I watched a
Right.
video on TikTok of a guy. He was talking about how he went to the meat department and he asked if the guy could cut him a certain cut of meat that he likes. And the guy was like, "Oh, we don't do that anymore. It just gets shipped in." And he was like, "What do you mean? Where's it getting shipped in from?" And he was like, "We don't know. We just put it out here and sell it to you guys." And he's
Yeah.
like, "What?" And then the
Yeah.
guy said, "I can't talk about it. Is there anything else I can help you with, sir?" And I was like,
Yeah.
"What?"
Yeah, that's why a lot of there's a rise in those businesses that are, and this is one of the benefits of living in Texas. We got a lot of cows out here. We got a lot of ranchers. We got a lot of people. We got a lot of meat markets, meat
We
stores.
have them. We have them. They're few and far between. That's why I drive out to my mom's house all the time. There's a rancher out there that sells his own meat. We have tons of fruits and that's one thing about Oregon. They have stands and farms that sell their products.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, with meat, we have a lot of that. That's one of the great things about Texas. But there's also those clubs that you can sign up for now that are, they're pasture, no antibiotic, et cetera, et cetera. And maybe we can maybe talk to some of those and get some of those on the show in the future when we're talking about, potential sponsors and companies that we want to align with and bring our, awareness to our audience about so that they can be healthier too. That's one of the things that
I'd love to get the raw milk place that I get raw milk from. I would love to get them on.
yeah, if we can get businesses like that, that's one of the things that I would love because I want to be able to help promote businesses like that and like the
Okay.
America First healthcare, things like that. Really healthy stuff that is made here in America that's going to benefit American workers and American businesses and business owners, and that's going to help keep us healthier. That's
Yeah.
everything that I want to incorporate. I don't want the soda companies. I don't want the one of the companies is like I forget what it's called. It's like a dead water or death water or something like
Oh,
that.
the devil water, or
Something
it's
like
something
that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, killer water or something. I'm like,
I
why
think
would
it's
you put
death
that?
water. I think it's death something, isn't
Yeah,
it?
why would you put that on your can of water to drink? Like people don't understand how words work
Monster.
and frequencies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like they don't understand it. So that's, something else that I love to talk about. And I used to do that a lot with the numerology podcast, but I know you're
Okay.
huge into frequency and stuff like that too. But words matter. They
Yeah.
absolutely matter. These brands that you're putting into your body, like that stuff matters. The words that you say, the music you listen to, the content that you consume absolutely matters. Every single word of it. Everything is
Yep.
frequency. So everybody keep that in mind. But speaking of frequency, one of the things that I was interested in speaking, I wanted Nick to join us tonight. Unfortunately, he's not able to, but maybe we can get
Oh,
him back
okay.
on again.
I would
Is
love for him to come back on. He didn't talk very much.
Yeah, we us females have a way of controlling the conversation sometimes and talking too much. And he was such a gentleman about it
He
and let us
was.
talk. But he had a lot of good stuff to say. And we were online this week talking about XRP, which is crypto. And so I know that we had touched on that last talk that we had last live and about the financial reset, Nasara Jacera, and a lot of the things that may be going on in the background right now, especially with the government shutdown. What's going on with our financial situation and the things that are coming up. ISO 20022 on what is it, November 22nd, going live. Like the regulation of crypto and how that is going to impact everybody who's not in it right now, and those who are in it. So I don't know. Are you into crypto at all?
I haven't figured it out. I have some stuff that I was told to get. I think that my precious metals have done better than, I mean, I have tripled, almost a little bit more than tripled in my XRP, XLM, stuff like that. But my physical
Yeah.
gold, silver, all that has done way better.
Yeah, and that's always going to be gold and silver that's tangible, that's in your hands. That's always going to be that is not matrix. That's not matrix money. That's actual in a way kind of spiritual money. There's some that talk about that gold is God's money, you know what I mean? And it is one of the few metals or alloys in our reality that can be transdimensional, some people
Well,
believe.
and what I have heard is, and what I have read, because I've done a lot of research in the sovereign field. And what the Bible was is to tell people about themselves and their lives and how we've come to, and it also is supposed to be how to live sovereign and how to work within that sovereign law. Um, I don't understand it all. I'm an analogy brain person. If I can't put it into an analogy, it's very hard for me to understand.
Right, right.
ADHD, I got a little bit of the tism, but it's
Same girl, same.
all
Yeah,
right. Woohoo!
it's what makes us special, you know.
Amen, sister. But
I'm not
I find
ashamed.
it interesting that the metals are coming back and that it's, I think it's only a matter of time before it crashes and it goes to the rainbow, is what is said to be the rainbow. And
Yeah.
um
Yeah, I think that part of this government shutdown, especially the longer that it lasts, if we get into November 22nd is ISO 20022. And if you don't know about that, especially those who are in
I
crypto,
don't.
you need to, okay, so basically it is the language of the standards that
Okay.
crypto will be held to. So in other
Okay.
words, it's the compliance factor
Okay.
of
Okay.
all crypto that will be used. Now, Ripple, which is the parent company of XRP, Brett Garlinghouse, and all of that, okay? Ripple has now bought umpteen banks. Ripple has blockchain deals with Saudi Arabia, BRICS nations, et cetera, et cetera. Ripple, XRP will be crypto gold. XLM is crypto silver. Okay. And
Okay.
Bitcoin, yes, will be out there for a while. Bitcoin will be out there for a while and it won't be regulated. Okay. XRP will be regulated. There's a double sword with XRP in the regulation of this. Now, the ISO 20022 is the compliance standard, which will be set. It's going to be a law, basically, that all cryptos will need to comply with. They'll need to be up to the ISO 20022 standards.
When you say
Okay.
standard, so that means it has to be actually worth something,
The
or
utility factors of it. So
like what it can be traded with and
yes,
exchanged in.
and how it's used, right? So XRP is basically going to be the industrial or not industrial, the whales, what do they call the institutional investors, right? The institutional investors, not the retail investors. We, the people, we are called the retail investors. That's XLM. That's going to be like what we use to trade, to buy, etc. Right? The banks are going to
Okay.
be using XRP. Now, if you have XRP, you want to hold on to it. You want to ultimately stake it and get paid off of it. Yes, you want to build your XRP bags, your XLM bags, anything that is going to be compliant with the ISO 20022. That's going to be HBAR, okay? That's going to be Quant, um, uh, XLM, XRP, and there's IOTA, and there's a few others that are already ISO 20022 compliant. They're
Okay.
already compliant with that. That means those are going to be the ones to take off. Those are going to be the ones that are used most. And depending on their utility, XRP is the bridge, right? That's the bridge between how you can send it a lot quicker and with a lot less energy consumption than a Bitcoin, right? Can
Because
send it a lot.
Bitcoin takes a lot of water, correct?
Yeah,
A lot of
it
energy
takes
and
a lot
water.
of energy, and Bitcoin is not sustainable. Now, within our lifetime,
Do you know why?
I don't know why. I'm not that technically savvy.
What is said by Sabrina Wallace and some of the other people out there. Now, she hasn't come out and said this like in the words I'm going to, but the way I understood it was Bitcoin mining is them mining our biofield and our energy.
It could very well be. There's a place that I believe in Fort Worth or South Dallas area where it's Bitcoin mining down there. And the
Oh, it's
people
huge
have
here. It's
and
huge.
people that live around those buildings complain about constantly being sick. They complain about this buzz that's constantly going on. The plants are dying around there. You can't grow
Yep.
stuff. And so it can actually be, I believe that Bitcoin could be, and that's why it makes sense because I've always heard that there aren't enough, um, there's not enough sustainable resources in existence in our reality to maintain Bitcoin going forward. Hence the need for something like an XRP. But they can't. This also could be what they're saying to us to make us go with things like XRP because of the fact that if you go to the Gematria page, Gematrix, and
Yeah.
you put in XRP, it'll say Mark of the Beast. It'll say like if you put Joe Biden, XRP is definitely with the end time stuff. It's being used for the mark. It is. It just is. Now, this is the
A
double
lot of
edged
people
sword.
believe so many different things about the mark. Like it's so crazy how many some people think it's the the shot, some people think it's the
Right.
coins.
But the coins is what's going to be what is being able to be used with our digital ID and our social credit score. That's the money that's going to be able to be controlled. So that's why it's part of the mark of the beast. Do you understand? It can be controlled because it's within that compliance. The reason that the SEC could not go after Bitcoin and regulate them was because here's Yosaki Yoshitomoto, whatever the dude is, the like weird dude that came up and created Bitcoin.
I don't think that was
Nobody,
him. I
nobody
don't think
knows
it's
who it
him.
is.
I
Nobody
don't
knows
think
who
it's
it is.
him.
But no,
I think it's the people over.
but the thing is that there's no CEO, there's no company to go after. So that's why
It's in
the
a trust
SEC.
because it's in a trust. You can't go after things that are in a trust.
I
It's
don't know
funny.
that Bitcoin's in a trust, though. I've never heard that.
If you own something, everything you own, if you're a sovereign being, everything that you own, from your license to your registration on your car to your silver, gold, everything you own is in that trust. And
Okay.
no one can come for you because of that.
Interesting. Interesting. I haven't looked into that, but I know that one of the things that's said about Bitcoin is the fact that it's not sustainable because it would take up all of our resources. There's literally not enough lithium in the earth. There's literally not enough oil. There's not enough
What if they're
there's not
telling
enough
you that?
resources.
What if they're
What
telling
if
you
they
that?
are telling us that just to
Because,
get us to
well,
go to XRP, which is the one that is going to be regulated?
Well, what if they're telling you that about Bitcoin? Because, and this is one of the things that came up in my brain when I heard all this stuff, it because of the trafficking, that's where Bitcoin is. It's the trafficking and the things that the Satanists are
Yeah,
doing, and
yeah,
that's how they're paying each other, and they're doing exchanges in that kind of atmosphere.
yeah,
And that's why they're going to take it down, is what I've heard. I don't know, because they've also said what they were going to use for good or for bad, they're going to use now for good.
right.
So, and then it
Right.
comes back in my mind like, bitch, you've always said don't trust the government. Why are you trusting them now? Like, so
Yeah, and
I
that's
have that coming back to the whole thing with Trump. I've questioned, I still do all the time. I question it I pray about it, and God has always brought me back to it.
yeah. Yeah, and so I I have this I have this dual thing with crypto and with XRP, with Bitcoin and all of that. But I feel like the wisest thing to do, of course, always with any sort of investment, is to diversify. So have your different types of investments. If you have a 401k, if you're in the stock market, if you're into crypto, if you're into metals, like diversify, 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 hedge, diversify, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
really know what you're doing. Like invest in certain programs and training classes and groups that meet about this and do trade. There's Discord groups that do trade classes and things like that. And that's what I did.
Well, and
That's
it's
how I
who do
learned
you
a lot.
trust? Like, who do you trust?
I know
With
that there's
all
a
these
really good,
scammers,
yeah,
that try to be me, that go out. That's one reason why I hesitate to talk about it, is
yeah,
because all these scammer accounts, they make my account look like my account, and
right.
they try to scam people.
So I know that the one that I went with, and to this day, he's very, very. I've witnessed his awakening over since 2020. His name is Armando Pantoja, and he's
Okay.
out of Tampa, Florida. He is a very well known and very well respected investor and financial advisor. He's been on the stock exchanges. He is. I have witnessed him. I personally vouch for Armando Pantoja.
Okay.
And I've been a part of the CNC group. I've
Okay.
literally been a part of his discords. I've paid for his courses. I've learned so much and I made a lot of money because of Armando Pantoja. I will say that outright. And you can follow him, Tall Guy Tycoon on Instagram and TikTok. And you can look at his lives. You can, like, this is somebody that I absolutely, and I've witnessed, and it's because like I have witnessed
Yeah.
his spiritual growth. I would not say this about a lot of people. There's two people. There's another one on TikTok. I forget his name, but Armando is the one that I've actually had courses with
What
before.
about that Carmine guy? There's a guy, Carmine something. He
I'm not
sits in like
familiar
a
with him.
king chair. He sits in like a bluish colored king chair that's like,
No.
it's a big chair.
I'm not familiar at all with him. The only one that, and you do have to be careful, but Armando he has a tremendous reputation. He's been doing it for a long time. He is a very well respected and reputed financial advisor and investor. He started from the bottom. He talks about his mother was a single mother. They grew up poor. He talks about how he made his millions. He talks about how the mistakes that he made, and how you've got to go about it, how to not be in FOMO, how to not be emotional with your money. These are a lot of the things that he talks about. He talks about political things. He talks about the jobs. He talks about this stuff. And I have watched Armando since Bitcoin was big, and before it, he used to hate XRP, and I've witnessed his growth into now being the XRP guy, and that's one of my claims to fame when it comes to Armando, and I've said this to him many times, but like, he's like, well, people grow, Sarah, people grow, and I'm like, you're right, but it's
Yeah.
it just, that's something that I will always hold, that I was pushing it before you were pushing it, and because I knew of what it could do. And now he loves XRP, and now he teaches all about it and everything. But yeah, if anybody's interested, tell him that Rothy sent you. Tall Guy Tycoon on Instagram and TikTok. I don't get a penny from mentioning him. I do it out of the love.
We
He
should have
saves
him
me
on
some
here
money.
one day.
I would love to have Armando on, and I'll definitely invite him. But he's a busy guy, so
I bet.
it's one of those things. But yeah, he talks about a lot of important stuff, and he knows what he's talking about with investments of stock markets. Even the hedging. I went through the whole ape thing when that happened with GameStop and Robinhood and all of that stuff.
What is Robinhood?
Robinhood is a trading platform.
Okay.
It's a security trading platform, and I think they do crypto now too. But basically, during the Biden regime, what Biden did was, because the apes worked, and we'll have Phil on, my friend Phil. Phil is an ape, and he was one of the instrumental people in doing this. What they did was they came together, this super smart group of investors, and they came against the hedgers and the short stop people. And the
Okay.
short stop people are they are in bed with the Nancy Pelosi's and a lot of people in the government that are trading, that are making a lot of money off of doing the things that they're not supposed to be
Backdoor
doing.
deals.
Yeah,
Backdoor
the backdoor
deals.
deals
Yeah.
within the securities exchange, right? And keep in mind that the SEC is not a government. It's not a three-letter government agency. It is a private corporation that was kicked out of Brazil, I believe it was, and now they are their business is in Puerto Rico, where they don't pay taxes. This is a
Well,
private
how can we trust
institution.
them? It's just like the IRS.
Just like we're being told with the Federal Reserve that it's the Federal Reserve. No, that's a private corporation.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
private. This is
How do
when
you trust
people
them?
have to educate yourself. You have to educate yourself. You got to
Yep.
do your due diligence. You've got to do your homework and really start to, become aware of the bullshit that we've all been told forever.
100%.
Why did the Titanic sink? Not because they had a freaking iceberg.
It wasn't even the Titanic either.
Like, exactly.
It
So,
was the
like,
what was it? The Olympus or
Olympic,
something like that?
the
Yeah,
Olympic.
Olympic.
So you've got to know. You've got to be able to, first of all, let go of everything that you've ever learned. And that's the hardest part for anybody to do, is to let go of everything that you have ever learned in your life. You're going to have to realize that 75% of the stuff that you have learned in your life, if not more, you're
Yep.
going to have to realize that it was a lie, including a lot of stuff in religion and the church. It's true. It is what it is. And then from there, then you can start to build it back. Then you can start to put it back together. And only then are you going to be able to break out of the matrix.
Yes. I
And,
agree.
and
A lot
until
of people
then,
don't understand that. Like I was trying to figure out how to do a video because before the Bible, how did people talk to God? How did people even know there was a God? Because he's within us. Like it's wild to me that these people believe that they need some outside extra. But and who's to say? It's funny because when I question people about the Bible, they get mad, and B, they're like, well, these are the gods. And it's like, whose gods? The people who wrote that book. They're not your gods, but they have made it to be your God because you're following a belief system of someone else.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Jesus never mentioned the Bible. It's we've had this discussion.
yeah, yeah. The Pharisees and the Sadducees, those were the ones that he went in and flipped the tables. Those are the ones that he called the den of vipers, were the religious people, the Jews.
It was the ones
Call
who
it what
took
it
him.
was.
And
Yeah,
and they are the ones who wrote the Bible. Like,
exactly.
and you guys are downing them, and then you're turning around and going every Wednesday and Sunday to read their word and
To a, to
oh
a
God, like
501c3 state beast owned and operated
girl.
facility.
Bring it, girl.
So, yeah, I definitely, I love God. I love Yeshua. I have everything against organized religion and church. And it's
Yep.
not that the Bible is a bad thing. The Bible has a lot of truth in it. It is the fact of the translation of the Bible and the
Did you
men that got
see?
their
Bingo.
hands into it, you know?
Did you see I think I sent it to you, Joe, on Instagram. He actually got a 200 and some year old Bible. They
Yeah.
found it and the Apocrypha is in it and the Enochs and all the things that that were taken out and moved and adjusted. And it's like, he's actually, you showed that. I love it. I love it.
That's
He's actually, I
phenomenal.
would love to see if his stuff matches that stuff. I would love to see because he's putting it out. I'll send you his Joe something. I don't remember his
We
name, but
can delve into it. We can absolutely delve into it. I love the Gospel of Thomas. Like it's
why is that your favorite?
because it's 114 sayings of Jesus
Okay.
that some of them are in the New Testament Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, but they're in their full context here, and
Okay.
a lot of them aren't even in the Gospels, right? But a lot of the scriptures that is in the Gospels are completed with what's in here, and it very much creates a picture of Jesus, of Yeshua, as someone who came to show us how to live and how to manifest the magic that he did. It exactly. It's him showing us how to be Christ-like, the Christ consciousness. That's what it is. And so that's why in 367 AD, Egyptian Archbishop Athanasius, one statesman, one person, deemed the Gnostic Gospels as heresy. One person. And from there, he deemed this heresy. Meanwhile, this is what the church followed mostly at the time. Okay. And so anybody caught with these books that were a part of the Bible at the time, anybody caught with these books would be put to death, etc.
Like the
So
witches, like the witches.
exactly. So when your government is coming after truth, okay, at the time, way back in the day, and you want to preserve truth for the future generations and for truth to be found one day, where are you going to hide that? You're going to hide it in the most impossible place to find, in the most unlikely place that
The
anybody would hide.
Vatican.
No,
Oh, okay.
you'd hide it in a tomb, which is why in 1945 they found the Dead Sea Scrolls in Egypt, in a tomb in Egypt, because that's where they were hidden.
Interesting. Interesting.
So
Hmm.
this is why you have to, people just like they just, oh, the King James version, the King James version. No, that's
Who wrote that?
that's a homosexual, a
And he
homosexual.
actually didn't he kill his
Yes,
mother
yes, yes. So
for the reign of that? Yeah.
people don't understand, and they don't want. They feel like, oh, it's wrong to, it's taboo to look. No, Jesus said, "Seek and ye shall find;
I
knock
think that's
and
one of
I
the
will open the
hardest
door."
I think that's one of the hardest things for like us people who are awake
Yeah,
is that we have an expanded mind to be like, wait a minute, what about this and this and that and this and let me pull this from over here, and we question it and we try to put the pieces together, and when the pieces don't fit we go, "Mm,
right,
well, and they go, oh, how dare you ask, how dare you, like
right.
it's wild to watch the cognitive dissonance in people.
It's really what it is, and it's fear. It's fear-based. Anything that's
Absolutely.
fear-based is, okay, well, what happens if you ask? Oh, well, then your soul's at risk of going to hell and burning in eternal, damnation and torture forever. Oh, well, don't let me ask then. Let me just
Yep.
go and pay my tithe, my 10% every single week to the building fund, to the missionary fund, to the pastor who's got millions and is flying in jets. And like, no, no,
And a Rolls Royce and a
right, no,
Bentley and
no, no, cheating on his wife.
when I was down in New Orleans, there was the pastor's house that burned, that big mansion. I saw that before it burned, and I just sat there and was like, "Oh my gosh. This
Yeah,
had to have taken millions to build."
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he's probably taking it from the people.
Of course, that's where it's coming from, and it's tax free because it's a
Bingo.
501c3
There was
nonprofit.
a gal on TikTok that was talking about what's stopping all of us from making ourselves a 501c3 and then donating everything to the church and using it to fund our lives.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we won't owe taxes on anything.
That's that's true, but you can also do that through trusts.
It's so expensive. I want to get it done. The place that I was looking into, I trust them. But it's 10 grand. But they do your taxes every year, 3,000 bucks, and you don't owe a dime.
Well,
Like there's perks to this place, but that's 10 grand.
yeah,
That's a lot of money.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a lot of money, but a lot of good stuff. A lot of things that people need to look into for their finances, for their wills.
Yes.
Don't don't just will your kids the house. Don't do that. Put it in a trust. Don't let them go. Like, I've learned that. Like, don't do it. Then
Yeah,
you're basically giving it to the government. And
absolutely.
people need to be educated as to how the financial system is set up, and what the loopholes are, and the way that you need to structure your life, your finances, and everything afterwards, so that
Do you think it's going to
the family is
change with
protected.
the reset? Do you think any of that will change?
I can't imagine that it wouldn't, but I don't know, and I'm interested to see. I I
Yeah.
I'm eager to see, and I'm ready to see some change with this. I'm ready to see the Nasera Jacera. I want to see people get their money.
Yes.
I'm ready to see that happen.
When do you think that will happen, in your opinion? Like, do you think it'll be in the next year, 2, 4, what?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hope it's soon. I hope it's very
I
soon,
do too,
because
sister.
I'm so tired of I need to see some action,
Yes.
honestly.
And I think, that's what I was saying earlier. I think a lot of people are at that point. I think many people are at the point of, all right, there's enough. Like, I'm at that point. There's enough bullshit. I'm done. If these people are not awakened right now, it doesn't matter. They're
Exactly.
never going to. Shut it down, put it in their face, let it be known, and let's move on. Because until that happens, we can't move on. And I feel like I think I told you this. I feel like I'm stuck in between two different dimensions or
Yeah,
two different.
timelines.
Yeah, like, and I'm just looking at both going, "Oh my god, please
Yeah,
make it stop."
yeah. Hurry up already,
Yeah.
'cause I
Like,
can't.
it doesn't make sense to me on what's taking so long.
And
So,
it's starting to put a lot of doubt in my mind. And I
a
think
lot
that
of
there's a
other
lot of
people
people.
too.
Yeah, so make moves, shit or get off the pot, honestly, with
Yes.
this. Because
Yes.
the continuation, those who are not awakened are at this point, I don't think are going to be awakened. So that shock factor that happens with them, survival of the fittest at this point in
Amen.
time. I
And
don't think that
look what they
everybody
did with
was.
the shot. Look what they did with the shot.
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
can they do that, but they're not gonna do, "Okay, wake up."
That's what I'm
It
saying.
doesn't make sense to me.
That's why, to be honest with you, like, I love my Q people. I love my Q people. And I do believe that there's a lot of interesting things within the map and the drops. But I am not one that is, nothing can stop what is coming. I am not one that is like, I lost that a long time ago.
I get that.
I've been doing this for so long that I need to see. I need
I
to
respect
see
that. I'm
because
there too.
I think that continuing the same thing over and over again. There's a difference between having faith, and continuing to do the same thing over and over again and expecting a
That's
different result.
insanity. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I refuse to be insane, So I understand that there are some very interesting drops, and nothing's coincidence, but connections
Yeah.
and miraculous things within all of that information and within that operation. And I also believe that there is some sort of military thing going on. Uh, I need to see arrests. I need to see people being held accountable. I need to see
Yep.
people getting money back. And and I have to be honest with you, I was very, very extremely disappointed with the whole Epstein Files thing. Like I'm just, and especially after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, mm, a lot of the people that I believed in, Jack Pasovich, Tyler Bowyer, of course, Andrew Colvett, anybody in the TPUSA family, to me, has zero credibility at this point in time. I do not. I'm only going to be watching the halftime show only because I want to boycott. What's his name,
Yeah.
Bunny? What?
Bad
What?
Bunny.
Yeah,
I'm
like
about to do a video about him.
that's the only reason that I'm gonna support Kid Rock, and that is because I want to boycott Bad Bunny. But other than that, I think that TPUSA needs to be investigated. I think that Erica
Absolutely.
Kirk needs to be investigated, and I'm calling for that to happen. I cannot wait for Candace Owens to get back on her lives. I can't wait for her to get back online and continue her investigation, because we need more people doing that. I refuse to accept this narrative that they've given us about this 22-year-old shooter, and that's complete bullshit. If you believe that, you need a lobotomy, and you are absolutely an NPC, Mr. Smith, of the simulation of the Matrix, and I have nothing for you.
I was at the gym today, of course you know that. And I was in the steam room and there was these three guys that were talking about, one of the main guys was talking about his brother being, he's just a conspiracy theorist and he's on this Israel thing and he just needs to move on. We can't change anything. And I turned to him and I said, respectfully, we can't move on until we stop that because they are running this country. And until that stops, we can't do anything
Yeah,
about it.
there's
Like,
yeah,
this has to be stopped. And then, just like I was talking to somebody else about the elections, and it's like, oh, we can't do anything about it. And I was like, why don't you just move on about it? We can't move on because there's a broken part in the system. The
yeah,
system can't run properly if
right,
there's a broken part in it. He's an electrician. And I was like, if you put a positive and a positive together, it's not going to work.
right,
It has to be the correct connections and for the energy to flow again.
yeah.
And I don't know if they're waiting, that's something that they're waiting for, is to do, like, midterms and to see if, they if I don't know. It's
I don't know about any of that. All I know is this, going back to the whole Maha thing and the three-letter agencies and all of that. I don't give two shits at this point in time. I don't care about anybody's awakening going forward. We
Yep,
need to rehaul
yep.
all of the alphabet letter agencies, and this goes into, even you were talking about the DOD, and everything from food to to chemtrails, to the veterinary industry, which I work in. I don't know if people know this, but Merck, we've got
Oh, the new
mRNA
shot,
jabs
yeah.
going into our pets now. There are certain companies that do it and certain don't. So you need to talk to your veterinarian about
Okay.
what jabs they are using. The Novavax, the Mercs, those ones. You need to ask your doctors what sort of vaccinations that they are putting into your pets. This needs to also be rehauled by MAHA. We cannot talk about making America healthy again if we are completely ignoring the fact that number one, in the veterinary industry, we're at about a 50% deficit of needed veterinarians. And about
Really?
60% of them are at retirement age or older and are expected to retire in the next 5 years, which means that we will have such a deficit at that point in time that regulation of the amount of animals that we have is going to come into play. It is going to go under governmental control, how veterinarians work, et cetera, et cetera. And it also impacts, this is part of the reason that veterinarians are one of the top professionals that commit suicide, is because this is just one of the many factors that contribute to the very high suicide rates of veterinary professionals, especially
Wow.
veterinarians. So we cannot talk about making America healthy again if we do not bring into that conversation everything from the education system to the health of our water, to the food supply, to mRNA injections going into our pets, into our food, into the plants, the animals, all of that. We need to talk about all of that.
Absolutely.
So I want Rothy's Revolution with Jewell to be a hub of this sort of information coming out. And I would love to extend an invite to any veterinary professionals that are willing to discuss this and talk about it. I know that it is very controversial.
Oh, yeah.
And but I know that there are some out there that are willing to talk about it. And so I
There's
invite
that
you.
one
And
guy
then,
on TikTok and another one on Instagram. I'll reach out and see if they wanna do I'll reach out to them this week.
yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. And yeah, any whistleblowers within, government agencies, those working that have dealt with chemtrails and the pilots, and also the FDA, and also TSA, and the flight the flight controllers. I've heard a lot of stuff with that too.
Oh,
Um,
really?
Oh yeah, yeah. Right now, the flight controllers are having major issues from what I've heard, and that there was somebody that said they just would not get on a flight. They just wouldn't. And I've been against flying for years, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, the controllers right now are the extreme strain with that, and it's more than a DEI. Granted, DEI is a huge contributing factor to that, but lots going on with a lot of
Okay.
important industries that affect our nation. So we need to talk about these things. We need to be open about it. We need to expose it. We need the whistleblowers. We need the people who want to talk about it. This is the revolution. It will not be televised, but it will be live on Rumble. So make sure that you guys
Yeah,
tune
baby.
in every single week with me and Jewell, because we're not afraid to talk about it, guys. So with that
And if
being
you guys
said,
wanna come on, let us know. Like,
for
we
sure,
want we want other people who have a different we both want different
for sure.
opinions and other opinions that come in that differ because we don't wanna be a think tank of only us who believe in one thing.
But
And
we don't
even
know
her and
everything.
I, like, we believe in different things, but we still respect and love one another.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we want to have those conversations. We want to dig into truth. We want to dig into every part of this as much as possible, so that we can make the greatest impact for ourselves and for our communities that we can. And with that being said, Joel, if anybody wants to get in touch with you, where can they contact you at?
The Food Lady 4, 5, or 6 on TikTok. Short and sassy underscore the letter short the letter N sassy underscore 75 on Instagram. I need to get all these together in the same name. I know, I'm sorry. I'll do that, I promise. I've
That's all
gone through
right.
so many accounts and so many names trying to get away from these scammers that
Yeah. I get it. I totally get it. And if you guys have any questions or want to follow either one of us, you can find me Rothy's World or at Rothy's Revolution at any social media aside from Facebook because I'm not on there with this show. But aside from that, thank you so much, audience, for joining us. Make sure to come and check us out next week, same time, same channel. And I promise you, we're going to be a lot more on the ball, technically speaking. Forgive us for that first 15 minutes, but we're going to get it together next time, guys. So with that being said, God bless. Thank you so much. And we will see you all next week.
Bye, guys.